Sarcastically Explained, Re:Zero Season 2. Re:Zero Season 1 was from a time when isekai was still new and a sparkly fad, despite existing in previous decades, and not everyone and their mother was trying to create one, so admittedly when it reappeared in 2020 of all times, it felt a bit vanilla. But given how fucked 2020 has been, yeah, it's nice to have a familiar presence show up again. We pick up right where we left off, not much to say about that really. Big ass whale is down and it's supposed to be a happy moment until you realize this is how season 1 ended.
レムって誰のこと?
Hello darkness, my old friend. But for real, my first thought when that went down 4 years ago was, here we go again. Turns out Rem's memory has been erased from the world. She's still here, but Subaru is very distressed by the fact that no one can remember her. This in turn caused many of us, including ourselves here at Crumbling Cube, to promptly freak the fuck out. Because we've seen this movie before.
レム
Subaru also does this. Does it work? Nah, no good. Rem's still forgotten. This weird alternate timeline occurs, and we'll get more on these two later, maybe? I don't know. There's 2 cores in this season, just FYI. Pretty straightforward, huh? Just find a way to restore everyone's memory of Rem in the world, and then maybe, just maybe, we can get back on track with the longest election in anime history. Right? Nope, this is Re:Zero. There's always something or someone else. Enter main issue number 2. The battle's over, so we head back to Rosewall's Manor, where we're greeted by 2 new maids, Frederica and Petra. Honestly, Frederica was kinda sus to me, but Petra is definitely trying to put Subaru in normal jail. Basically, when the battle happened, everyone sheltered at the sanctuary, so our crew decides to head over there to give everyone the all clear. Oh, and Frederica gives Subaru this weirdo necklace thing for some reason. Pretty sus. So they head there and bam! Plot twist, this sanctuary isn't actually a sanctuary in the classical sense. It's a magical sanctuary. This barrier kicks our collective asses, and Subaru's the only one who's active, and eventually he wanders his ass unwittingly into some ruins. Because yeah, that's a great idea, just go poking around where you don't know about. He then gets transported to a magical realm where we meet Echidna. And she is the season's second best girl.
嘘でしょ?
Second best because Rem still technically exists. I know she doesn't say a single word, but she literally exists to be best girl, so there you go. I'm definitely not biased. Echidna lives in the Windows XP default wallpaper and drinks tea all day. Only, it's not tea, it's her bodily fluids. And she's terrifying but somehow adorable because, well, anime. Actually, your mileage may vary. If you watch the sub, you'll go, "Aww."
世界中のあらゆる権力者が
If you watch the dub, you'll go, "Oh. Oh, damn."
But that's not my title, so perhaps you'd know me better as the Witch of Greed.
She offers to lore bomb our faces off with all the knowledge in the world about witches. But Subaru's too busy simming for Amelia to do anything about that. And believe me when I say, there is nothing more dangerous than a Twitch thought deprived of an audience. Once Subaru gets out, we meet Garfield. No, but really we get into town, where we see definitely not Dio, and we get the lowdown on the situation. Basically, no one can leave the sanctuary until 3 trials are passed, which is a horrible design flaw if you're building a shelter. Like seriously, could you imagine if your followed shelter needed you to solve 3 Sudoku puzzles before you left? Oh, and this is where art imitates life. Our characters are under lockdown too. Your 3 pandemic trials are as follows. So who's going to take all these 3 trials? Well, can't be definitely not Dio. He's already tried that, and look at the absolute state of him. Can't be Ram, she's not important enough. Subaru? I mean, he is the main character. Nope. Really, it's Amelia? Oh, there's nothing that can possibly go wrong with that, right? Well, it's Re:Zero, so she's in for a lot of suffering. Subaru, being the simp that he is, rushes in out of concern for her. Pfft, look at this loser, being concerned over the physical well-being of someone he loves. Simp. Oh, a bad move because this actually triggers the first trial for Subaru too. And Subaru gets to talk to his parents, possibly for the last time, which is also a giant gut punch for like half the audience, if Reddit is anything to go by. Building us up only to cut us down, huh? That's how it is, eh, anime? I see you. I see what you did with Welcome to the NHK, and I don't like what you're doing here. Basically, Subaru makes his peace with his parents, and we find out that this was all a simulation done by Echidna. Perfection. Hey, it's okay. She's like 500 years old or something. Don't at me, FBI. Subaru then wakes up back in the ruins and finds himself next to a pretty roughed up Amelia. Whatever she saw on the trail, that must have been rough. But she's undeterred and resolves to try again and again and again and again. He even offers to step in, but she refuses, saying that if she wants to be queen one day, she'll need to do things for herself, which is admirable. But sometimes you need to know when you're beat. With Amelia tackling that, Subaru goes to confront Frederica, who was kinda sus. But oops, ara, say sayonara to your kidneys because Elsa's back and she don't want to build no snowman. What she does want to do, I can't show on this YouTube channel because of the American Association for Pearl Clutchers. Oh, sorry, that's advertisers. So we've got a few variables in place here. 1, the trial must be passed. 2, not being there to support Amelia will lead to the trial being failed. 3, if Subaru doesn't intervene here, Elsa will kill everyone. 4, the denizens of Sanctuary don't fully trust Subaru, and they maybe want to keep the barrier up for some reason, and they may or may not act as wildcards. It's at this point that Subaru dies. A lot. Well, he tries to thread the needle, which is typical for ReZero. It'd be honestly more shocking if he didn't die. You know, when your only power is to infinitely respawn, well, you're gonna abuse the hell out of it. So let's go down the list of deaths. By Crunchyroll. Not sponsored, I was just too lazy to write up the list. Number 13, Jisatsu trying to save Rem. Number 14, Ara by Yandere Elsa. Number 15, Eaten Alive by Horny Bunnies. Brief aside here, being eaten by horny bunnies is pretty scary and it's really bad, but then me being me and having almost no one to talk to the show about, I journeyed onto Reddit, where the light novelers ruined my experience thusly by posting this excerpt that described in graphic detail what exactly happened to Subaru. I can't show this either. Oh, and in between here he meets up with Echidna who swiggity is going for that Subaru booty. Subaru spills his damn heart out because this is the one and only time he can actually tell someone about his ability. Which is bittersweet because Yandere Amelia heard your boy. Death number 16, by the way. Death number 17, bunnies. Again. Oh dearie me, Amelia's a Subaru simp now. So here's the crux of the issue, and it's the one thing that I can't believe Subaru didn't encounter sooner. If you did, correct me in the comments, I don't know. The man can't be in two places at once. In this season's major scenario, on the one hand, you have the situation in Sanctuary. If that doesn't get fixed, everyone you know gets eaten by horny bunnies. If you don't get back to the mansion, well, everyone there dies. It's a situation with seemingly no solution. Almost like someone planned it. So where's Rem? Rem's gonna be here, right? Okay, thank Cthulhu, because there she is. Psych, that's Camilla, the witch of lust. I'm sorry, but she's too cute to be lust. Can we get the real lust, please? Big plot twist, there may or may not be timelines where Subaru's death actually plays out. Oof, which hits the guy pretty hard. It was at this point I realized that ReZero had turned into a harem self-help show. The witches aren't actually all that bad. They just want Subaru to live his best life. Satella especially. But her looks and this crazy line here spark some crazy theories with a big ball of wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey stuff. Psst, she might be Amelia. Subaru agrees to stop hard-inting and running it down every time the playthrough goes wrong and resolves to fix things. But first up, he must confront Dio. Except he's definitely not Dio. Turns out definitely not Dio was in on this all along and is in fact a Echidna simp. He's aware that Subaru can return by death and has been crafting this exact scenario to make it absolutely muda to save both his parties. And to cap it off, he tries to do the most Dio thing I've ever seen and get Subaru to reject his humanity and become like him. Subaru almost drives himself insane, not that I blame him. It's quite the quandary. What force in this universe could overcome this insurmountable problem? Ah, right, this is an anime. The power of friendship. Duh. Auto for best boy. And that was ReZero Season 2, Sarcastically Explained. If you have something that you'd like to see me sarcastically explain next, please leave it down in the comments below. If you like that video, please give it a like, consider subscribing, and check out these videos. We've got What Echidna Really Thinks and Sarcastically Explained Adventure Time, Distant Lands. Thanks for watching.